Hello everyone, it's Matt here and welcome to PlayerUnknown's BattleGrounds. This is the start area at the moment, ready for a match. So as you can see, there's people picking up guns and firing them off, throwing grenades, harpooning others, punching others, you name it, it happens in the start area essentially. And it's sort of like a precursor where you can test different weapons and such ready for the actual game. So obviously if you've read a little bit about it, basically you spawn in a plane like this, which goes over a fictitious island setup, and you deploy from the plane via a parachute. Then essentially you just have to either kill everyone else or wait for everyone else to die, and then you become the king. The king essentially. It's sort of like basically wait for everybody else to go, so that so either you can take people out as everybody else is dying, or that you can become the king, or everybody else shoots themselves. So I'm just waiting for a good spot to deploy, and now would probably be a good one. And I'm going to aim for somewhere with buildings, and the reason for that is that all the equipment is in buildings, either in buildings themselves or on the roofs of buildings. So obviously you have to try and get that perfect. And the other thing is you have to try and make sure that you're not near anyone else immediately, because there's been several times I've played this, not on recording, where I've been caught by people who've, like him, have launched their parachute before me, have landed and picked up weapons before I've even had the chance to pick up a weapon, and I've died I've been like the third person to die, and that's including all the people who've spawned before me and landed before me and everything else. So I'm going to try and I screwed that up. What to do now is to try and get inside the building, and I think this one should be empty, and try and order stuff. So I'll pick up my metal helmet, those 9mm. So we now have a gun with 15 bullets in it. And our objective is to gain more equipment, such as the backpack, armour. So there's the backpack, level 2, SMG. Gain better guns and gain better modifications for our guns, such as clip modifiers to make them bigger or reload faster, and things like that. First aid kit, shotgun choke, gas can. And the gas mask is always good, because then if you do encounter a gas grenade, you, generally speaking, can't die as quickly. There we go. As you can see, now the other thing about the game is that as you progress, the map area you're supposed to be playing in decreases. So I'll just pick up those. I'll pick those up as well. That's what I've got on at the moment. And essentially, if I go to the map briefly, that white circle is where the players are supposed to be concentrating and getting into. Now, obviously, there's only just under 3.5 minutes, so I'm moderately well equipped. And as you can see, I'm fairly close to the border, so I should have just about enough time to go through everything in this building, pick everything up, and then actually just walk or run to the next area. So obviously the issue is, I don't want, you can actually survive after you could go outside the area, so to like, if you like. Obviously the issue is that you have to make sure that you've got enough to satisfy So I just picked up a gun. It's weird. Basically, you have to. Basically, even though it's the timer to when that's when the field starts, it doesn't instantly change to where the white circle is. So what essentially happens is, ooh, we've got level 2. I'll pick up that first aid kit. Is as it starts decreasing towards where the white circle is. So even if you don't make it to within the white circle within the timeline, you generally speaking got a little bit of leeway, depending on how far you are. Obviously, the closer you are, the more leeway you've got, and the more you can finish stuff up before you die. Now, the other thing is that a lot of people, even if they're going to die, so essentially, if you know you're going to die, generally speaking, you at least try and get there quicker. But obviously that's not always the case. So what they'll do is they'll actually just kill you anyway, even if you're very close to actually getting in and managing to secure to get into the zone. You generally speaking don't have much of a chance. So obviously I picked up all the ammo and stuff in that building, so I'm just going to start running now. And one of the other problems here is the scenery, because some of the scenery isn't very cooperative. I've noticed in the game, whether that's from driving or from running and trying to jump over broken walls and stuff like that. Sometimes you'll make it when you shouldn't do. Sometimes you won't make it when you should have done, and it's just things like that where it's just sort of like a bug fixing thing, I think, and make sure that the jump works properly. Because there's several issues where I've tried to jump over walls when, as a human, even in my rather portly frame, should I say, should be able to do it, and the player character can't. You know, so I would expect. Oh, vehicle, there it is. So I would expect, for example, for me to be able to jump over some of the broken walls, and I can't. And as you can see, the 5 minutes from the initial stage are up, and we are fairly close actually. We'll just continue on our way closer to the target area. Now, the other point is to note is that the target circle, it doesn't just decrease in terms of size from the center. It decreases in size, but it can be anywhere within that circle. So the circle might be towards the right, towards the left, down. Essentially, it could even do it again, just a straight shrink. But the thing is that even if it's on one side where it anchors and it clings to, say, one bit of the outer circle, when it does the next stage where it shrinks again, it might be on the opposite side. So you might be fine for the first shrink, but not for the second, and stuff like that. I mean, I did play a game once earlier today where the map circle actually shrunk twice, and I had to move about a foot, and I was fine. So obviously it's just things like that where it's playing your game right. I mean, the best strategy I've come up with so far, depending on how you deploy and everything else, is to land on the far island, so where you've got the military base, and have to travel to the far side of the map, because then you can just get on a boat and you're away from the land, and when you make it within a certain time period, you can actually just get into where you need to, and you avoid quite a lot of the people who are trying to kill each other, and essentially while everybody else is killing each other, you're having a nice leisurely cruise on the outside, and then you know, essentially you'll have an easier time surviving. Oh, there's nobody here. It's just been raided. So you can see we're inside the circle now. The red circle is sort of like a submission, if you like. Basically, it's where there'll be essentially a load of bombs going off, but you'll also be able to pick up a dropped crate which contains a resupply. So hold on, where are you? That's why you got to be careful as well. So I'll pick up that scope. That can go, that can go, that can go. He had a decent gun, didn't he? Yes. I'll take that. That runs off. Not that. I must have had ammo for it. M16A4, 5.56. To scope, fit that to that. Assault rifle, we'll fit that in. That shotgun choke can go there. And essentially, this is just essentially a upgrading everything. Upgrade that. I think I'll leave everything else. I'll take the bandages, and I think everything else I can leave behind. I'll pick up the. I'll leave them actually. So essentially, it's just upgrading all the kit. Just fit the suppressor. Actually, the good thing about this game is that you can actually fit stuff while you're moving around. So for you know you're safe, you can fit stuff in the inventory to guns and not be stopped. Also, that doesn't work for stuff such as refueling cars, which you can do if you pick up a fuel can, or if you're healing yourself, such as for injuries using like med packs and stuff like that. And you can see the red barrier, or the blue barrier rather, closing in. And you can see the plane going up ahead. And you can actually see this little progress bar just above where the map is on the bottom right, and you can sort of see that the blue shield is actually enclosing you on me. Sorry about that. And 3, 2, 1. There we go. And then I'm starting to get injured. So you can sort of see the blue field shrinking to the size of the map. And actually, I'm doing this completely wrong because I need to do that on over the water, and I hadn't. It is not good. So it was a boat. Oh, not out of any water. So, oh, it's a crate. Damn it. So that's where one of the crates fell. And I'm probably going to die. So I can get on top of the crate. It's empty as well. Damn it. No, let me live! Oh, damn it. Oh well, at least I made it to level 22. Or rank 22 rather. Oh well. So that was episode 1 essentially of PlayerUnknown's BattleGrounds. Now obviously this is an early access game, so obviously there's more content to be added, more weapons, more vehicles, and even another map I think is due to be scheduled before the release towards the end of this year. So obviously the game is still moderate. it's kind of difficult to say. It's really good in terms of the playability, but there are a few glitches here or there. Some of the things don't necessarily work quite as good as they should. And there is a little bit of the balancing issue, obviously, because if you don't get a weapon within the first minute or so, if you're in an area where there's a lot of other characters, in some instances, even 5 seconds after you've landed, you're dead. So obviously you do need to be a bit careful when playing this game. But anyway, I'm Matt, and I'll see you in the next episode.